Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to your August 2020 monthly forecast for all signs, actually. Um, I don't know about you guys, but Mercury retrograde is doing a real number on me. So I'm doing this while Mercury is still retrograde. Ignore me if I repeat myself or something or other, okay? Just, I'll try to remember everything that I meant to say, okay? Anyway, and we had really like a 2 week stretch of 90-degree plus weather in my area, and it was really, really bad. Made me sick, like a bunch of other people, made me ill. So on top of that and other things mechanical happening, I'm only finally getting to you now. Sorry. But anyways, okay, so Mercury in Leo is still retrograde up until the 11th when it turns direct, but, you might have to give it a few days to kick in before you notice it. Some people, believe it or not, actually notice it right away, but it's usually because of something in their chart, their own personal chart that's affected by it, okay? So it turns direct on the 11th and is still in Leo till the end of the month. And Venus actually moves into Leo on the 25th, and the Sun is in Leo up until the 22nd, okay? And then Mars is still in Virgo up until the 6th, and then it moves into Libra for the rest of the month, okay? And the Sun moves into Virgo on the 23rd, and there is a new moon in Virgo. I'm sorry. The 22nd is when the Sun moves into Virgo, and the new moon is on the 23rd in Virgo. There's a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, okay? And Uranus is in Gemini just temporarily, and Saturn and Neptune are retrograde and are in Aries temporarily, okay? These three planets will move into these signs next year. Okay, I believe the beginning of next year. So we're just getting a little bit of a preview right now. Okay, and Jupiter is in Cancer along with Venus. Venus is in Cancer up until the 25th. Okay, so you couldn't ask for like a better aspect to have Jupiter and Venus together, traveling together in one sign. Okay, very, very nice. And Pluto is in Aquarius, and it is also retrograde. So thank you very, very much to my subscribers for liking and commenting and sharing my videos and inquiring about me. I really, really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. Thank you very, very much. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You will be notified each time I upload something. And there's links below in the description box. There is one to my website, but if you would like to know more about whatever, if I do this or that, what kind of chart, or just ask me anything, it's just easier to email me at zaneszodiac@gmail.com, okay? And don't forget to check out my weekly shorts, which are like the daily aspects, okay? But remember, there aren't aspects between the planets every single day, okay? So, now for your forecast. Hi, Cancer. So, this could be a pretty lucky month for you. Not only do you have Jupiter in your sign, okay? Venus is in your sign, too, up until the 25th. And you couldn't want better planets than more better planets than this, okay? You've got Jupiter and Venus traveling together in your sign, okay? So Jupiter is good fortune. Venus helps that along. It attracts money, things like money, but just good fortune, all around good everything. Very pleasant month, okay? So when Jupiter's in your own sign, it like wants you to get out there and try new things. In fact, you should maybe even start a bucket list at this time of like whatever you would like to accomplish. You don't have to do it like in a year. like the entire year that Jupiter is in your sign, but just helps to know, like when to like really use the best time to really use this transit. Okay, and this is like one of those months. Um, if anybody asks you, to go somewhere, to do something, go see something, travel big time is like a really good suggestion. It's Jupiter is like travel oriented. It governs long distance travel, but any kind of travel. So you could have the opportunity to do just that. Let me see. Yeah, I would. Yeah, could come. I think it's probably planned. You may have actually had something, already in the works. Whatever, it should be going like really, really well. Okay. Um, there could be. I do have to mention this. So this is just very brief. It will. Saturn and Neptune are in Aries. Okay, they're both retrograde, and they're in your 10th house of your career. It is your most public house, your 10th house. The 10th house cusp is also the midheaven, if you've ever heard that term. The very, very top of your chart. This is how the public views and speaks about you. This is your public persona and your professional persona, like how people know you by reputation. Okay. Now, these planets are just visiting here right now. They're going to retrograde back into Pisces and finish their transit there. And then they will, though, fully move into Aries in like the beginning of next year. So having these planets in your 10th house sometimes brings about more contact, like with higher ups, if you do work for someone else, or if you're self-employed, more contacts with like clients and stuff, but they could be the higher up, and even the client could be very like hard to work with. You know what I mean? Like if you are working for somebody else, or even you have a colleague that you work with, somebody could be undermining your like your efforts to move up the corporate ladder or something or other, because they just, it seems like they always put some kind of whatever in your way, an obstacle of some kind. You could even have a boss that takes credit for your work. Okay, this is just something to keep in mind somewhere down the line. You're getting a preview of it right now, but because you have Jupiter, when Jupiter is in your sign, even if something that you would consider bad happens to you, it acts as a buffer. Jupiter acts as a buffer because you're not getting the full effect of what really could have happened. And in fact, like, you could look back later, even years from now, and think, boy, that I was really lucky. I could have, this could have happened to me, that could have happened to me, whatever. You just think of it. So if I were you, because this is what's coming up. Right now it's just in preview, in your 10th house. Okay, but at the beginning of next year, it's going to kick in. And eventually these planets will be here for a while. Saturn in your 10th house does mean, like, this is the house of fame and fortune, great honors, awards and stuff. So you could be making progress in your career, okay? With Neptune here, you may even change your career because you're disillusioned with whatever it is that you were doing, for whatever your chosen field was. In fact, you could, just change your field. It has not... it may have changed even your field of work, your line of work, or even if you're retired, there's still something in regards to your public life and your reputation, which is good. I mean, there's nothing bad going on here. It's just that you feel like you have to uphold whatever, whatever people think about you. You have to become that thing. And that's probably not a good way to be. But now, currently, when you have Jupiter in your sign, you should really get out there and network and do as much as you possibly can. Meet as many people as you can that are interested in the same thing that you are, if you are thinking about changing careers. Now would be the time to learn a little bit more about it, or actually talk to people who are in that field. Okay? Really spread your wings, especially this month with Venus here. You know what, if you've listened to my videos, you'll know that I always tell people, when Venus is in your own sign, your first house or your 10th house, you should milk it for all you can, okay? Because people will find you far more appealing now than they do at any other time. In fact, if you need to speak to someone, okay, people like to do things for you when Venus is like in your sign, or your first house or your 10th house. They want to get on your good side. They want to do little favors for you. You could even have people giving you belated birthday gifts, or taking you out for a belated birthday or whatever, you know. But it's a good time to use this to talk to someone who's hard to talk to, that you may need their cooperation for some reason or other, or you need to speak to them. And in fact, that I would go back to that 10th house there with the boss, or a client that's just like a real pain in the ass, or something or other. So use, you know, this Venus in your sign to really go after favors possibly that you need, you know, or help that you need. You know, if I were you, I would play the lottery, okay? Especially, well, there's a full moon, okay? There's a full moon in Aries, in Aquarius on the 9th, in your 8th house. That's where you have the sign of Aquarius. The planet Pluto is here. It is in retrograde motion, and the 8th house is a money house. It's other people's money and resources, passive money, coming to you through means other than earning it, such as a refund of some kind, insurance payout, legal settlement, inheritance, legacy, things like that. Okay, it's many, many things. With Pluto here, this is the house of rebirth and regeneration. Pluto is a co-ruler, along with Mars, of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house, so it's pretty appropriate with it being here right now, even though it's in the sign of Aquarius, that there's changes going on here, okay, in a lot of ways. At the same time, there's a bunch of planets in Leo right now, okay, the Sun up until like the 22nd. Mercury is still retrograde in Leo up until the 11th, and then it turns direct, but it's still in Leo until the end of the month. And then when Venus leaves your sign on the 25th, okay, it moves into Leo. So all these planets in your second house, the other money house, which is your earned income. This is your main money house, how you earn your money. It's your possessions, also your feelings of self-worth, your personal values, and also your valuables. It's many, many things, okay? So with the Sun here, actually that's where your focal point is, money. Money and possessions, okay? And with Mercury being here, especially in retrograde, you may receive money that was delayed or held up for some reason or other. You may also receive something that you should have already had. Maybe someone borrowed something from you, even money, but it could be anything, possessions of some kind that they need to give back. And around this full moon is when it really comes to a head, you know. Somebody could be blowing you off. 8th house is financial institutions, credit card companies, banks, the IRS, you know, something or other. Somebody could be giving you a hard time about a bill, or just anything, okay? So I believe it will be resolved around that full moon. whether that the other person involved likes it or not. Okay, you should get what you want. Okay, even if you, this is shared, 8th house is partnership money too. It's shared property, shared debt. So if that's the case, you know, maybe someone could be a spouse or a business partner, whatever. Maybe they're spending too much money, or they've used like the credit cards, they've run up bills, something. Okay, so that you're putting a stop to that. But you're also trying to, like, you know, retrieve whatever. And I would have to say money that is yours. Okay, so yeah, you could, you know, be on the end of a legacy or inheritance of some kind, and it doesn't have to be like a family member or anything, or even anyone that you know, but someone may leave you something, even money. Okay. Let's see here. So then the sun moves into Virgo on the 22nd. There's a new moon in Virgo on the 23rd. And Mars is still in Virgo just up until the 6th. And then it moves into Libra on the 6th and is there for like the rest of the month. So you've got, and the 3rd house is where you have the sign of Virgo. The 3rd house being like your everyday life, your neighbors, your neighborhood, siblings, cousins. This is people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. This local travel, which would be like a day trip, an overnight trip, or a weekend trip. Also, all forms of communication, including regular postal mail. So Mars has already been here since last month, so you could have been really active in your area, in your neighborhood, and you know, not like more than you normally are. There could be just stuff going on around there, you know, stuff to do, and that's why you're like running around a lot. It's almost like how it is when you have Mercury here, a lot of communication. But this Mars, this is physical. You've probably been going a lot of places, and now with the sun here, that kind of continues. With the new moon here, does bring a new beginning. Could be in some form of a communication you receive, or a conversation possibly that you have with someone. Could even be a family member or a neighbor. That brings about like a new change. You're changing some way that you do something, even if it's the route that you drive or walk or whatever, ride your bike on or something. Okay, you're beginning something new. 3rd house is also the written word, so you could be writing something, even starting, even if it's some kind of journal. Okay, so then Mars moves into Libra on the 6th, and your 4th house of your home and family, your private life, your past, your childhood, the foundation of how you were raised. This is where you physically live and the property surrounding it. So having Mars here makes you kind of want to do big time things to your living area, making changes, like not just cosmetic, but it's like big time remodeling. You know, it's not really knocking down walls or anything, but it's a little more than, you know, hanging new drapes. So you could have like this whole project already laid out for you, because you are in the mood to really change something in, you know, wherever it is that you live. It's something that you could have been looking at for a while, tired of looking at it, or let's say like an appliance or something like that. It's broken, hasn't worked in years, let's get rid of it. You know, whatever. If you can purchase whatever, something or other, because you have all these planets in Leo at the, you know, beginning of the month of a money house. So if you do receive some money at this time, I believe that you're going to use it to remodel or do something, buy something for your home, or buy something personal, because your 4th house is also your personal life, okay? So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Cancer on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Capricorn, and those dates are the 5th, 6th, and 7th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling and speculation, or anything to do with children is the 1st, 2nd, 14th, 15th, 16th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for money is the 8th, 9th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time for your career is the 12th, 13th, and 14th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 10th, 11th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for August. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!